Leonardo was born in a small village called Vinci in Italy. That's why his full name became Leonardo da Vinci, meaning Leonardo from Vinci. His father was a wealthy man, but never married his mother, because she was just a simple country girl. As an illegitimate child, life wasn't easy, but maybe greatness was meant to come from a quiet town, not a grand palace. While other kids were playing in the dirt, Leonardo was off in the woods chasing bugs and frogs and watching birds fly. He would stare at how water flowed through streams and wonder why it always finds a way. He was a weird kid, but in the best possible way. When Leonardo was 7, his father saw a charcoal drawing of a winged lion on a wall. He realized Leonardo's mind was different. He took him to Florence, the center of art and science. In Florence, Leonardo became an apprentice in the studio of a famous artist, Andrea del Verrocchio. The place was buzzing, full of young guys, color, sculpture, sketches, and paintings. Once Verrocchio let him paint one of the angels in a big piece, and when he did, everyone was stunned. That angel looked better than the rest of the painting. From that day, it was clear this kid was something else. Leonardo didn't just paint, he wanted to understand how the human body worked. He studied it closely and made detailed drawings of things like the brain, the heart, and even a baby before birth, more accurate than many diagrams today. Leonardo sketched things that no one imagined back then. Helicopters, tanks, even bikes. The tech didn't exist yet, but his designs were so accurate that people have built them today. A very interesting thing about Leonardo is that he wrote backwards, from right to left. His writing could only be read in a mirror. They say it was easier for him because he was left-handed, but some think he wanted his notes to remain a secret. Leonardo was obsessed with flight. He studied birds and designed a muscle-powered flying machine, like a bike with wings. Some say he even tested it, but it didn't exactly take off. Even though he didn't like war, Leonardo designed military machines to get work with royal courts. Round tanks with cannons, bridges, defenses, even early automatic weapons. His ideas were far ahead from his time. Leonardo also designed systems for flood control, canals, and city plumbing. Many of his ideas are still inspiring and useful to engineers today. In 1482, Leonardo went to Milan and wrote a letter to the Duke. In the letter, he offered to build large bridges and war machines. And at the end, he casually added that he was also a painter. He knew his genius was not limited to art. Leonardo designed a massive horse statue 7 meters tall made of bronze. He worked on it for years, but when France invaded Milan, the bronze got melted down to make cannons, and that masterpiece never finished. In 1495, Leonardo was asked to paint a big mural in a monastery dining hall in Milan, Italy. The scene showed Jesus saying, "One of you will betray me." Leonardo loved the emotion in that moment and wanted to tell the whole story in one image. Leonardo spent months planning each puzzle's reaction. Judas is in shadow with a money bag. All lines point to Jesus. He used a new painting method that looked great but faded quickly. Still, it's one of the most powerful paintings ever. After 3 years of work, in 1498, The Last Supper was finally done. Leonardo stepped back. It wasn't just a painting, but a full story in one moment. A masterpiece of focus, patience, and genius. Around 1503, he began painting the Mona Lisa, a woman most scholars say was Lisa Gradini, the wife of a Florentine merchant. But Leonardo did not just paint her face, he captured her secrets as well. No one knows for sure if her smile is real or just a hidden thought. He used a technique called sfumato, softening edges so lines fade into each other. Her eyes and lips have no sharp outlines, so her expression seems to change. Behind her, a dreamlike landscape with winding roads and strange mountains adds to the mystery. They say Leonardo carried the Mona Lisa everywhere, even to France. Maybe because she wasn't just a model, maybe she was a part of him. Leonardo worked on the Mona Lisa for 4 years from 1503 to around 1507, but he never considered it finished. In fact, he kept the painting with him for the rest of his life, continuing to tweak and refine it. Leonardo left tons of paintings half done. He would start one and then get a new idea and run with that instead. Not because he was lazy, but because his mind just couldn't stop exploding with ideas. Leonardo never married and had no children, but his students were like brothers and sisters to him. One of the most famous was Salai, who lived with him for many years and even appeared in some of his works. The King of France, Francis I, was obsessed with Leonardo's mind. He invited him to live in France. He gave him a little castle called Clos Lucé. By then, Leonardo wasn't painting much. He was more into thinking, writing, and imagining. He would chat with the students, sketch random ideas. Sometimes the king would come and talk for hours. The king once said, "This man is more than a painter. It's like he talks to God." And finally, on May 2nd, 1519, at the age of 67, in his small French castle, Leonardo passed away peacefully. For centuries, people only knew him as a painter, but when his notebooks came out, the world realized what it had lost. He had touched almost every field, even before some of them existed. Even today, engineers and scientists are blown away by Leonardo's notebooks. He sketched ideas for things like helicopters, tanks, diving suits, and even robots, centuries before the technology to build them existed. It's like he could see the future. At the Louvre, Mona Lisa still smiles. Kids still hear his name in a school. Engineers still take notes from his old sketches. Leonardo wasn't just a man, he was a timeless mind.